AI is disrupting our workplaces, and your response to this change is critical to your future success. So, I want to talk to you about the fundamentals of what's happening in the AI space and the choice that you have in front of you so that you can AI proof your career. But before I get into that, I just want to introduce myself. So, my name's Anna Black. I'm a career counsellor and workforce consultant and the creator of the Define Your Future career planning system. I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel so that you get to see my new videos when I post them. So, AI, it's a topic that's being discussed everywhere. It's all over the place. And I've been deliberately doing my research and gathering my thoughts before weighing in on the topic. Personally, I'm very concerned about the impact of AI tools being implemented in our workplaces and the impact of that on people. I'm seeing the full range of responses to this disruption. There's fear, overwhelm, resistance, even resentment. But on the other end of the scale, some people are excited seeing the potential in the AI tools that we have at our fingertips and trying them all out. The difference with AI, as opposed to many workplace changes, is the sheer magnitude and pace of the shift that's happening and the deeply personal impact of the change. What I mean by that is that as organizations are adopting AI into their way of doing business, it has the potential to change the nature of people's jobs very significantly. So there's a scale of impact. On the one end, many people are using the tools to simply do things like take meeting notes, do routine admin tasks, help them to write an effective email or report, or to analyze documents and give summaries, which is very helpful. Even if this isn't being driven by the organization, many people are doing it themselves in what is called, in some places, shadow use of AI tools. On the other end of the scale, some jobs are being completely redesigned and potentially, in a small number of cases, even replaced. The big challenge for many people is simply the uncertainty. I see people are being asked to download their knowledge into AI tools, leaving them nervous that they're training an AI agent to replace them. There's a perceived threat of redundancy and this cloud hanging over them. The truth is, so much about the future and the extent of the impact is unknown, and uncertainty causes stress. So right now, AI is a massive source of stress for a lot of people. So what do we know? I get asked these questions all the time. Things like, will my job be replaced? Well, from what I've read and the up-to-date reports from Jobs and Skills just 6 months ago, only a small proportion of roles will be replaced entirely. The roles that will be most heavily impacted are those that are routine, clerical, or administrative. Having said that, there can be, or there will be, an uplift in productivity in many roles, and we're already seeing this with some roles being made redundant simply because in some teams with tools being used, the productivity increases and more can be done with fewer people. So that is something to be aware of. While the roles might not be replaced completely, there could be a reduction in the number of people needed to get the work done. But there is a very small proportion of roles that will be completely replaced and can be completely automated, something like 4% of the full Australian workforce. Okay, so it's relatively small, and being aware of the specific types of roles will really that will be impacted will be really helpful for you to understand your personal position and likelihood of seeing those changes in your space. How will your personal job change? So this is something that people ask me all the time: is what will be the impact on my type of role? So, as I said, the vast majority of roles will not be replaced entirely, but the majority are highly augmentable. And what that means is where people will in the future be working hand in hand with AI tools. So it's very, very important to recognize that this is going to be extremely common in the not too distant future if it's not already happening in your workplace already. So in that jobs and skills report, it was estimated that 87% of roles are more than 50% augmentable. So there's a significant proportion of work that can be done in conjunction with it or by using an AI tool to help you do the work, help you do the job. So what I gather from that is essentially most people should expect to be using AI in the near future if they're not already. And we should be expecting to be progressively embedding AI over time, certainly over the next few years, and the rate of change is really rapid. They are going to become embedded into our day-to-day work. And organizations are likely, if they're not already, and you may have seen these changes and this thinking coming through, they're likely to be rethinking their org structure and redesigning roles. So to see, well, how is breaking down each role, how is the work going to be done, what can be, done by an AI versus what does, what will the humans still need to be doing, and what does that interface look like? How do we work with AI in a really productive and healthy way? Are there likely to be redundancies? As I touched on before, look, it's inevitable, and we're already seeing that coming through in some industries, that there are redundancies that are as a direct result of AI being embedded and the capacity no longer being needed. But it does depend on the business and the strategy of the organization as well. So with an increase in productivity, there's always a choice. The organization or the leaders in the organization can choose to do the same amount of work with less people, and make some of those roles redundant and take that cost reduction as a benefit. Or they could choose to retain the people and choose to do more with the same resources. So there's an opportunity to free up people's time to work on higher value work, new projects, improvements, value adding work. And I think that in a lot of organizations, they're seeing this opportunity, and that is the way that it's going. I can't say what it will be in your organization. It really depends on the mindset and the opportunities that the leadership teams are seeing. But it's really worth paying attention to, how is AI talked about in your organization? Can you gauge what their strategy might be? Are they openly talking about it? In which case, fantastic. And perhaps you can even find opportunities to influence that thinking. What do you see as the opportunities? What do you see as the best way of embedding or implementing AI tools in your organization? What could that look like? Is it something that you could get involved with and influence? So what should you do about all of this? Well, at the end of the day, everything is a choice, and we all have three options. Firstly, we can do nothing. And I know a lot of people, and I have days like this as well, where a lot of people just want to stick their head in the sand and ignore it. It's a bit scary. It can be overwhelming. There seems to be so much to learn, and everything seems to be changing. There's new apps every day and updates. And what's the point in learning something if it's just going to change in 2 weeks' time? The thing is, it's not going to go away. Okay, even if this is what you feel like doing, I strongly recommend that you need to keep up. You need to be thinking about this and not ignoring it. Your second option is that you can adopt and adapt. What I mean by that is kind of get on board the AI train, like adopt it, adapt, look at, learning the tools, keep up with what's going on. Think of AI literacy becoming a fundamental skill that you need to know. Like, you need to have that skill, much like Microsoft Office has become. We don't generally put Microsoft Office on our resume anymore because everyone uses it pretty much every day. It's a basic expectation, and the use of AI tools is going to absolutely going to go that way as well. So get on board, start using it, keep up with what's going on, and be ready to adapt. So as your role might change, be positive about that change, and be adaptive and open to working in new ways going forward. But you also have a third option, and the third option is to embrace and lead. So there's a massive opportunity for you to get on the front foot, to explore how can AI transform your field, whatever field you work in. What are the opportunities? What are the tools that can help and really make a difference, a transformational difference in your space? Don't wait for it to happen to you. Get stuck in, get involved, drive the change. If you're concerned about your future at all, or you want to get on the front foot in this, what is really an AI revolution, and you'd like to explore your options, how AI is going to impact your particular field, what your options are moving forward, then please reach out to me. This is what I do. These are the conversations that I'm having with people. I do offer a free call to help you do exactly this and plan a way forward that is going to be a fit, and be satisfying and fulfilling for you. I'll add the link in the details in this video. So I do hope you've got value from this video and that there were some helpful nuggets of wisdom in there. As I said, I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel so you see my new videos when they come out. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.